Hi, Attorney Nubel Gonzalo here with Gonzalo Law Offices, Gainesville, Florida, Miami, Florida, and Cleveland, Ohio. And I want to talk with you today about how communication can move mountains. Oh my gracious, there are times in business when we are faced with hard things that are truly mountains. This could be the loss of a key employee. This could be, a mountain of debt or a lawsuit that hits the company. It could be just a general lack of direction or a need for fresh ideas or inspiration. We're looking for a new vendor who can assist and help. All of these things are mountains, but they require communication and sometimes hard conversations. And hard conversations are those that we don't want to have, but we have to have. And truly, there are the things that allow us to become better and to become stronger when we have those conversations. I can remember a time when I was working on a particular case and we were drawn into working with the FBI and federal agents in order to investigate an anti-money or a money laundering situation. And we had to have a lot of hard conversations with law enforcement. But there are times that no matter what you're facing or doing, you have to separate out the anxiety you might have about the event or what's going on from working to get a better outcome. And say, okay, anxiety aside, have to focus in on how do we get to the very best outcome possible and work through it. And it reminds me of the time when I was in the White House, a White House tour, and they showed us the Situation Room where the president meets with his generals and advisors when it's a time to make a big decision or there's a huge situation, or the Oval Office. And we see where he then meets with his advisors again to have hard conversations that are going to affect every man, woman, and child in the United States, and oftentimes many people abroad as well. Those are hard conversations, and leaders have to make them and have them in order to move forward, as we do in business as well. And with that, when you think about a hard conversation, whether it's, with the President of the United States, you might say, I'm not the president, I'm not going to have to deal with that. Right, but we still in business have our own sets of hard conversations that we're wanting to address and take care of. And in the context of U.S. and international corporate law, there might be a situation that comes up with regard to money laundering. If you do any type of business in the United States and there's any type of cross-border element to it, and you're dealing with those who are overseas, or those from overseas are coming to you, whether they're customers or they're doing deals with you, it's important to have things like anti-money laundering policies on your website, and that it's clear, because if you ever have to work with federal agents and they have to investigate, they're going to ask, was a paper trail created? Was due diligence and background information collected and gathered on the individuals that were involved? Was there a policy or processes in place? And making sure you have things like an anti-money laundering policy in place are very helpful to make sure that your business is protected, both in being able to handle situations that come your way, and also when you might need to talk with federal investigators to work on a particular matter or resolving it. So all those things to keep in mind. So what kind of hard conversations do you have to have in your business, or have you had to have? And how have they made you better? Because these types of things, they apply later in our personal lives too, because we're also going to have hard conversations we need to have with family, with siblings, with spouses or loved ones or children, whatever the case might be. But getting that experience, getting stronger in both of them, staying prepared helps us to move forward. All right, well, that's it. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk with you